Hunting After Dark is sponsored by Feral Texas Outdoors, Thermal and Night Vision Optics. Hey guys, it's Jason Price here with the Hunting After Dark podcast with my co-host Justin Rumley and the infamous Colt Pounders.
How are y'all?
Oh, we're doing good, man. I think you're famous for all your mate footage, man. Everybody wants to talk to you. We kind of keep them at bay so they don't bug you on the last one that you were on.
The mate's still my favorite scope.
Well, clip on. Clip on.
Yeah,
we got to specify. They're going to be calling us wanting to throw it on.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's been great. I mean, I think they had a lot of insights on the mate. And, it got an opportunity where we were here, we're going to field test the M6. I think it was awesome that you got to go out there. I went out and ran it first, then I gave it over to you, and then I guess you just fall in love with this thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I thought I wanted one of these for certain reasons. And that would be, we hunt a lot of big open country. And I've always thought we hunt off a Ranger. When we're pulling into the fields, what are we scaring out of the fields? Yep. So I was thinking, and we have cabbed Rangers. So you either got to ride with the windshield up with your scanner on your eye or whatever, and it's miserable, it's cold. The whole point of having a cabbed Ranger is not to freeze all night. Mm-hmm. So that's why I thought I wanted one of these. So I got yours, the first one you had, the trial or demo or whatever. And after the first night, I knew right away. I called you the next day. I want the first one you get. I got to have it. And sure enough, we went into a big open field full of cows that were calving, coyotes all in it. There was 3 coyotes in the field that we spotted as we were pulling into the field. We were able to stop right there, turn the call on. We got one of the coyotes. Anytime before that, we would have drove right into that field and blew those coyotes out of there.
You just spooked them right on out and had no idea.
Yeah. And so that's what made me realize we had to have it. But since then, I've learned why we need it. It's not just want it, why we need it. And I always run the call on our team. I'm always the guy that runs the call. Well, if I'm not on the high rack, I don't know what's going on, unless, of course, I would sit there with the windows open and scan in the Ranger, but 2, 3 in the morning, you're tired. You don't feel like.
Yeah, you don't want to do nothing.
You won't take your break. Well, with this thing, if I'm down, if it's not my turn on the gun, our team, we take turns getting up on the gun. And if I'm sitting in the Ranger running the call, I can sit here and scan back and forth, and I see what's coming in. It tells me how to run the call.
Well, I mean, it keeps you involved and things like that. But I mean,
you don't get bored.
Yeah, I mean, I said, I think I've been guilty of that myself, to where I changed the call because I didn't know what something was coming in.
Oh, that's the other thing. You got a coyote coming in, and if he's charging in, you can start turning the volume down, slow him down to give the guys on the gun a better chance. Or if you got a cat coming in, and I've been playing for 15 minutes or whatever, and okay, I'm going to end it with pup in distress, or I'm going to swap over to a howl, whatever. I don't want to blow that cat out by swapping to a coyote sound. Yeah. So that's what it gives us the ability to do. And I can tell you also that this is kind of shameful to admit, but it happened twice this year, and a third time you were with us. An animal actually came in all the way to the call, and the guys on the rack missed it. And I picked it up with this, and I start tapping on the roof of the Ranger. And I guess, they're scanning over the top of it, looking way out, but he got in. And I got, it was a coyote. It was a coyote both times. He come all the way to the call, circles the call, and is just casually getting out. I tap on the roof, and they're, where? I'm like, look at the call. And he had come all the way in. And I actually got that on video. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, so we're going to look at those videos later, guys. So, I mean, we just wanted Colt kind of give his experience and insight, because we're going to go through all the videos that he had, some of the ones that I had, because, I mean, this thing has just been amazing. I mean, the picture quality, what do you think about the picture quality on this thing?
Great. It's really good. I'll tell you, on a night with heavy dew, this thing picks up the dew and it kind of shuts it down. But on a night with heavy dew, all thermal's not so great. So, but other than nights with extreme heavy dew, this thing is perfect quality. I mean, other uses that we use it for is once we have a downed animal, the laser on this thing.
You got the remote's live.
I mean, yeah. So the laser on this thing.
You can point it right out that camera you want to.
You
get
can.
right
I mean, you can. You can mark a downed animal, and the guys on the rack can walk right to it. I mean, so if you're, January, typically your field the grasses are shorter, but as we get into March and April, the grasses get taller. You can lose an animal in the field even with thermal. You drop a coyote. Yeah, of course you can find it. You get on the high rack and drive around. This thing, I can point with the laser right where he's at. The guys walk right to him.
Well, you think about how many sets can you get to? I mean, you sit there and go look for 10 minutes, try to find a coyote.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
This thing marks him, and it's over. I can tell you other uses we use this for. I take a lot of guys hog hunting. And these are guys with zero experience hog hunting. It's their first time. And so typically we ride around, and used to, I'd have to scan with the window open. This thing, everybody can enjoy the experience. It ain't just me, the driver over there, oh, there's some over here. Everybody in the Ranger can, I've got a little old mount, a RAM mount or something that's a suction cup to the windshield of my Ranger, the iPad. And everybody sits there and is watching the screen, and it's crazy how much joy this little.
It's an experience,
well,
no doubt.
I can tell you that we've gone out with Colt. I've got my Polaris, but mine didn't have a heater installed just yet this winter, and it is coming in today. He came in today, which is wonderful now that it's 90 degrees outside.
Yeah, summertime.
But it was quite bougie being in Colt's heated cab with the iPad and watching the M6, being able to scan through and watch everything inside.
Yeah.
No one was cold. We got out. It's time to shoot.
Well, what I do is that whenever I'm taking these guys that have never really hunted before or whatever, I typically have another guy with me one of my partners, and I will ride around and spot him with this thing, and he'll get out. My buddy will get out with the tripod and the gun, and he'll walk these guys towards the hog. And he don't know, so he doesn't have to carry a scanner. I'll point the laser up in the air in the direction, and he can walk towards the laser, and he knows he's advancing the hogs. And then he knows if I turn the laser off, then you better stop and shoot, because you're getting close or.
Interesting. I didn't know that you did with those guys. So you just pointed up at the sky?
Yeah. I'll point the laser at the sky.
A tree line.
Yeah,
on top of a tree line.
Yeah. I'll point it up because this laser will scare a hog. I mean, you point it at it, and it will scare a hog.
Well, we got a guy that works with us that he got one, but he says he was driving hogs with the laser.
You can. I haven't.
Well, didn't we try that the other night? Yeah, we were messing
I'm
with
not going to
the
sit
other
here and
night.
say you can like I've done it. What I'll say is I know I can take the laser and I can make them turn and go the opposite direction of where they're headed. And
Give them that laser
I can
eye
mess with
surgery.
them. Yeah, I can mess with them. And I mean, the other thing, this thing has a rangefinder on it. It's in meters right now, but if they're
talking about the update and going to yards. But I mean, how many times have you called out ranges to people?
All the time.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, especially like if we're riding around shooting hogs, I'll know if he's within 300 yards, we'll throw a shot at him. Off the tripod or whatever, and it tells you if they're in range or not.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were up on the rack the other night, and I was yelling out ranges, and y'all were sitting there holding over.
Oh yeah, on those hogs, yeah.
Oh yeah, and you were popping them way out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I forgot
you were
about
shooting
that.
like 260.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, there's just so many uses for this thing, and it's not like your typical vehicle drive thermal, because I've had different ones before in the past. But being able to have all those other options with it, you've adapted with it, I've adapted with it to find some other uses that help make that experience even better on a vehicle mounted thermal.
Right, and it's very, it's to me it's very well built. It doesn't feel cheap or if you tell it to do it, it does it, and we use them for videoing. I mean, it's very easy to track an animal running in with it. It's not jumpy, it's very smooth, and I mean it floats very well on a moving Ranger too. When you're driving it, it's not like just going crazy.
That video stabilization that's on it. Yeah. I mean, that's what I noticed too. Is like even on a gravel road, it's still smooth.
Right.
What do you think about the suction cups?
The only time I've had one release is I didn't take the time to wipe down the roof of the Ranger, the dust, and I had one come loose in the middle of the night. And I knew it because as we were driving, I started seeing more movement on the, on my image.
On the image,
So
yeah.
I said, I bet, and I got up there, and sure enough. And now all I do is I take a paper towel on the roof of my Ranger with a bottle of water, and I wipe it down. And
To start the night, yeah.
to start the night, and I've never had it come loose. Now, for safety reasons, I do tether mine off because I don't take it off when we go down the highway moving place to place. We'll pull it 70 mile an hour down the highway, and I would hate for this thing to bounce down the road. So I do tie a safety line on it, and but other than that, and one other thing I will tell you, if you're gonna road it down the highway, turn it sideways and aim the screen straight
that
down,
sensor straight down,
because
so no
you
damage
will take a
bugs.
bug
Yeah.
to the screen, and so
That's smart.
That's just something I've learned. And the first thing you remember when I ordered one, I said, what about a rock hitting it on oncoming vehicle? A rock could destroy this, but if you do that, it's fine.
Yeah, as long as you don't damage the sensor. I mean, that
Right.
other stuff's pretty easy. I mean, you get a couple dings on the side and everything else. That's not gonna hurt anything. I mean, this stuff is so encased and
Right.
enclosed.
It's stout.
Oh yeah, as I say, it's well
yeah,
built.
and
You're not gonna hurt it.
and I know the suction cups. They have the little red lines if you lose suction cups. I mean, I know when we hop place to place, we just someone would hop up and look, say, hey, is any of
Yeah.
the red lines showing? Nope. Okay,
Right.
let's go. Pump the sucker up and get the heck out of here. I mean, heck, this thing can even seal to the table right here.
Yeah, these are very strong suction
Oh, yeah.
cups.
Yeah, and I think mine's a little more roughed up than yours. I think you take better care of your stuff than I take care of mine. I broke the antenna off mine, but mine still works. I think you take better care of yours than I do. I'm roughing mine all up.
I will put it to you like this: if mine breaks, I will replace it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the cords? Corded versus wireless remotes. I know some guys are going to ask.
You can get a wireless remote. Oh.
There's just competing products that have a wireless remote, like a radio frequency remote.
Well, I don't have anything to compare it by. So this thing
I
has
guess
never.
I'll have to take this one from you, I guess. Because I just noticed radio frequency remotes, they're jerky. So the ones that I've had out there, when you go test with that radio frequency, there's such a delay, and then you're pressing it, and it kind of jerks. I mean, you know how to work this joystick, how smooth the movement is. I mean,
Well, I'll tell you this. So you know how it is. If I'm driving a Ranger, which I usually am, first thing I do, I get in. Where's my remote? And because everybody in the cab, if you're out there grabbing it and they're using it, so maybe I like the cord because I can find a remote. If
that's true.
If I didn't have the cord, this thing would get lost in the Ranger, guaranteed, and we'd be looking for it. So that's one thing that I think I like the cord, because we always hang this from my gear shifter in a Ranger. So I know where to go. It may be laying on the dash, it may be laying in the seat, but at least I know the wire is.
Yeah, that is right there.
So that's one reason I do like the cord.
Now, I know we played around with because there is a video out on here, guys, so you can do a static monitor. I think all of us, though, we'd still use the app. I mean, it was smooth. Once you got it pulled up.
Yeah.
Once you got it pulled up, I mean, because the thing is, with the app, you still have all the interactions on there.
Yeah.
The zoom, you actually can see the point, and I'll put it on I'll put it on here on the podcast. I'll put a video of it where you can see where your reference point is for your laser.
Yes.
Your laser rangefinder. I mean, all that stuff's all interactive with you still, versus doing just a still video screen, just where you would do RCA type cable into it. You still have all the interactions with the app. Like, I mean, like what we did to some of those is you can reset the point where the front is. You can reset that, and then you can hit it, return to 0. If you lose where you are, guys.
So the orientation of it. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, and then you can just hit, reset back to the front.
Right.
We're going to roll on to the next place.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those things, still interactions with that app, are still pivotal. And then plus, like the zoom. I mean, how many times we've magged up? Because you're on a one-base mag on these things. So you can go 1 to 4. But
I didn't like it when we hardwired it. I like it. I like the image that the iPad gives you better.
Yeah, I think it's more of I think you're right. It's a clearer image, I think.
Yeah.
Even though your Wi-Fi transmitting is still better than RCA, guys. I mean, if you guys didn't kind of know how video works, RCA versus some of your app transmissions via Wi-Fi is going to be a little bit smoother.
Right. I don't know much about any of that, but I know I like the iPad better.
Do you like VCR or DVD?
That's
the VCR kind of.
Now, one thing I can tell you, if you ever connect this thing to your phone, and the phone seems to pick it up before the iPad. Oh, I have cussed this thing out and didn't realize
turn off your Wi-Fi antenna.
You have to turn off your Wi-Fi on your phone because it's the first thing to grab it. And once I figured that out, I have had 0 issues with it. I mean, the first thing I do is turn the Wi-Fi off on my phone, and the iPad picks it up every time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to pull this thing out of the way. We're going to pull up and we're going to go through some footage. I'm going to pull my laptop here. We're going to go through some of this footage and we'll make it available for everybody. So don't worry about referencing things. I mean, we'll have everything up here. Let me pull this sucker down and we're going to pull this laptop up and we're going to do some of this footage on here. We're just going to pull this out of the way so all three of us can sit here and look at this. Yeah, if it wouldn't have been good if I dropped it right here in live, would it?
I was just say, go ahead and drop it.
Yeah, drop that sucker. We'll see how sturdy this sucker is right now.
I'll let them know real quick.
Super secret password.
This was a.
All right, Colt, man. This is all you. This is all you, man.
This was a coyote that managed to make it all the way to the call, and I had to warn the guys. And
He's already passed the call.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, he's just circling around, hanging out.
And at this point, I'm antsy. I'm like, why didn't they take the shot right here?
Perfect broadside.
So
I think when Jason showed me this video, I asked him the same thing. I was like, what are they waiting on? Didn't realize that they had no idea that coyote.
Yeah, there he is.
He went and bopped him. He went to
buck and bull mode. And
Good God.
oh, here's the other one, the hard charger.
Yeah. I remember this. They ended up getting this coyote, but he got out of sight before he went down. He went way up in this corner by them cattle pens.
This is on the same place, right?
It's the exact same set. We called in 2 or 3 on the same set. Yeah. That you can. Oh,
Sorry, I went ahead and cut. What's your story here on this one?
I think this is a night I wouldn't let you shoot, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a varmint hunter. We got hogs everywhere. We don't need the hogs.
My finger has never been more itchy than this video right here, where we're on a high rack and she is coming and she is they're all just grunting at us. It's like 90% humidity.
How close are they? 50, 60 yards?
Oh, 20.
They're just right outside the buggy. Yeah. Like we could see them with our bare eyes.
Yeah.
Throw a rock in
I
there.
think
She's still coming where she finally looks at us and she starts to grunting. Your cousin in there's running the remote.
Yeah, this is the night where I think Jason realized I could care less about a hog.
Yeah.
He is a varmint hunter through and through, guys. Me, I would have sprayed every single one of these ones in this group. But he had the call running.
Yeah. It's like they were coming to take the call out.
That's crazy.
And she gets the grunting and runs away. But yeah, you hurt my feelings that night.
Jason can't pass up no pigs.
When it's varmint hunting mode.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the recent one where we're both in the high rack.
We got a double on this one, right?
Yes, we did. Yeah. So you can see here it's high grass right now because this is April, and you can see all the big brush. You know, the M6 pulls up all this detail, but you get to looking and you can see. I mean, they're about 200 yards out and they're starting to come in.
I'll say this is a perfect example of when that laser came.
Yeah, we used the laser on this
to our benefit because all we did was
we had down coyotes about 200 yards apart or something like that, and
it's a perfect place for that laser to come in handy to find the animals.
No, I did kind of leave the whole video on here, so it's going to take us a little second to get to the part where they really get to splitting.
Right.
But because you'll see here in a second, you'll see these coyotes split and they come
they
around.
go out of screen.
Yeah, so we're gonna get focused on one. I'm gonna be the first shooter over here on this one. We're trying to get him around. You know, we're just trying to see if he's gonna come into all this high brush. Of course, we're elevated, and it was perfect.
Yeah,
perfect for us. I mean, they couldn't really get a good side of us. They couldn't get a good side of the call, and so we're trying to figure out kind of what we're gonna do here. And there's no shit. Whoop, I had to edit that part.
There.
Just a tick.
And there is no audio on the M6. So sorry. Here's your shot. Drop one.
Swung over.
Tells me to not stop moving.
Boom,
There goes the second one.
Yeah.
Johnny on the spot. Now this was our Rick's girl.
Okay. Yeah, this was her first hog ever, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She dropped him. Dropped that one.
I mean, that's just you taking people out hunting, driving around. Oh, and then this one. This is Blake's. This is Blake's.
Cameraman wasn't too good on this one.
Yeah,
this was.
He missed the shot.
Oh, okay.
This is where we need to fire the cameraman.
Yeah. Yeah.
The cameraman needs to get fired right here. He's going there. He's all ready for the recovery, but he missed the kill.
Watch Jason here. See what he's got up his sleeve.
I don't know what I'm investigating here.
Yeah. What are you checking out, man? Hey, easy.
Yeah. I'm the pecker checker, guys. I got to make sure.
Boy or girl.
Good God. Oh, this one's a cool.
This was the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or this was our most recent hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This one actually came in all the way to the call.
This was a coat that was already in the field.
Yep, we wouldn't have noticed this one if we weren't already set up.
Look straight at the call.
And the call's right there in front of
Nope.
it. I missed. And there goes Colt, man.
Get all the graphics.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool
That was
stuff.
probably the most flipping I've seen. It's like that first
Yeah.
one and then this one.
He put on a show.
And once again, he's torturing me. We're over here ranging how far this pig is.
Yeah, we're coyote hunting.
They're 67 meters. They're eating in the trough. Prime pickings.
Hogs are boring.
And just to let you know, kind of when you see some differences in the image, like this one was, it was high humidity. We were looking at like 85% humidity, so it was pretty high. It ended up raining on us later this night.
Yeah, it sure did. Yeah.
I did
our
put in
last
that last.
stand.
On
I
you
did,
and I.
Yeah, I did
our
put in that last
stand.
video, just kind of show good weather, good with the bad here. Kind of what you get on those humid nights, like you mentioned
Yeah.
about some of those humid nights.
This is
actually-
it.
yeah.
This is the video right here.
We're actually sitting in the rain.
It's raining.
There's your coyote.
Whack. We
And they
won
got that
two.
one.
We won 2-3 down.
So it just repeated. But I mean, that's some of the footage, that we got. I mean, we didn't put in every single thing, but I mean, just like the one I asked you about when you came in today. It was just
The
like,
bobcat walking across the
yeah,
road.
yeah, freaking Bobcat.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and you ended up throwing out the call.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't know that guy was going to be coming.
I didn't
weird.
really want to shoot that bobcat, by the way.
Hey, it was
We need to save that bobcat for competition season.
Competition time.
Yeah.
a bigger frame cat. I was like, ooh, that was a
Yeah.
big cat.
Yeah, I was like, he really wants to shoot this one? I was like, I was surprised. I did think you were going to
Well,
pull
we
up.
needed to make video. So.
Yeah, we need to get some video.
Oh, he was close enough too. Saw him with
Yeah.
the naked eye plus through the M6. I was like, that's pretty close.
That set turned out just the way it needed to.
The temptation was
That
taking
cat's still out there.
Or just for a coon to come in and sit and
Yeah.
perfect. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
We don't need that cat coming out.
Yeah, that temptation was definitely taken away. Well, we went through some of these videos, and I think the biggest thing I forgot to mention. Did I mention that there's no audio with the M6?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did talk to the company about with the app, like maybe adding like the audio mic option, like to record through the tablet, and maybe put audio with the videos. But I mean, you can see some of these videos. I mean, it's very easy to record with this unit.
Very easy.
I mean, you just hit the record
Tap
button.
a button.
Yeah, and then retrieval, via the app. I mean, guys, we were like airdropping stuff to each other. I use Google Drive. I'm an Android guy, so they gotta do Google Drive for me. I gotta make things complicated for all the
The
iPhone
airdrop's
users.
fast.
No, yeah, it's like almost instant.
Yeah, we had the camera guy with us, and we were sitting there at the end of the night. We're just like, oh yeah, here's all 8 videos we got tonight. Here, bam,
Gone.
over to him. And so it was kind of nice to be able to do that. But we ran iPads. We do have kind of a surprise. We're going to do this on Feral Texas, where we're going to sit here and show some of the videos of us setting up an M6 in the vehicle, but just showing also for our Feral Texas customers also how you get to transmit to your screen inside a newer vehicle. There is a way to be able to do that. The only thing with that is that you're not able to interact with the buttons, but you are able to visibly see it. So for you, that doesn't exactly work for you. We got your bougie Polaris Ranger with all the air conditioning and the heat, and I can say
It's
that.
basically a vehicle. I mean,
Yeah.
just put a slap of license plate on it and you're ready to roll. I mean,
I definitely can say some of the fun times we've had running around with running this M6 is being in Colt's ride. It does have. It don't have the massaging seats, Got some.
It's
heat.
got air conditioning, heated seats. But
And getting in there with him, I mean, I sat in the back seat, a lot of nights sitting back there, but sitting in the heat, and we weren't cold, running that vehicle mounted thermal, and everyone being able to see, like I said, able to interact with everything that's going on, and it is with varmint hunting, you want the least amount of movement, so people in the vehicle with it enclosed, even though they're up on the high rack, you only got 2 guys up there moving,
Right.
and everyone else being enclosed in that cab, scent's
Right.
enclosed in some of that cab as well. So less scent, less movement, but then
Right.
still people are still being able to interact and be
Oh,
involved.
yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things I think was like the awesome takeaway. It's like when we all go, when people all want to go, it's you're not passing out all the handhelds. Everyone's
Yeah.
just
Well,
right
if you're
there.
taking kids with you and say you're riding around hog hunting, the kids actually have something to look at. They can sit back there and watch the screen. Even if they're not controlling it, it still gives them something to do.
it's an experience. I was going to say, I
Yeah.
mean, you're not just, okay, well, waiting for my turn. No, you're going to sit there and you can actually see what, they're looking at while they're
Right.
outside hunting. And,
Right.
especially if it's not your turn. You
Right.
still have something to do.
Well, I think you made a valid point too. I mean, so now you think about this, that you have somebody with a vehicle-mounted thermal that is scanning. You got 2 guys up, shooters.
Right.
They're also probably scanning.
Yeah,
so now
definitely.
you got 3 eyes on, so there's no excuse to miss anything
Right.
now.
Yeah,
Right.
nothing's coming in and not getting,
Right.
Not getting spotted, not getting spotted out there.
Right. No, that's what, I mean, that was, other than driving into a field scanning as we're driving in, that is definitely what I appreciate about it more than anything.
Yeah, and I think we've all kind of got our setups now down to a T about how quick we can kind of get things set up and what you need to do to kind of get things in, and you kind of get a rhythm of what where you want to kind of run the cords down into.
Oh, y'all mounting this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Simple,
5
easy
minutes.
process.
I mean,
Yeah.
it takes longer to wipe down the roof, and tie my tether off.
Yeah, I said getting things all set up and getting ready to go for the night. I mean, once you kind of get things going, I mean, like I said, just check the suction cups on those things, and you're pretty good to roll. I mean, Wi-Fi signal. I mean, if your tablet's fully charged, I mean, you can sit there and leave that Wi-Fi on. The M6 is going to the cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could feasibly leave it up and going. I just don't know about the gimbal. Probably the gimbal being powered up. Probably need to unplug it. But I think if you're like going really, really far, like if you're driving 45 minutes, you probably don't want to have the gimbal fight in the wind. But, I mean, like we were 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. I don't think that was an issue. Like mine's perfectly fine.
I've done a mini hunts this year, actual tournament varmint hunts. Leave it on all night long.
Yeah, just
Never turn it off. Yeah.
Yeah, have it connected to the tablet
Yeah.
and just be ready to go. Because, I mean, you never really ran down that tablet anyway. I mean,
No. A matter of fact, I'll do 2 or 3 nights of hunting with my iPad. I never charge it.
Full charge. Take you 2 or 3 nights to run it down.
Right.
I mean, I will admit, one night Justin and I went out, and I forgot my dang tablet. I was having to run it with a phone. You can run it with a phone. It does suck. It is nice to have the nice bigger screen.
A bigger screen does help, but the phone's not terrible if that's the only option.
Right.
But yeah, it's been one of those deals where I've been waiting for something that was going to be a nice 640 thermal, 12 micron. It's got a 25 millimeter sensor on there. I mean, it's great image quality on that unit. I mean, and it's just quick. I mean, I got a little bit leery of running around about scanning with a vehicle-mounted Wi-Fi streaming thermal,
Right.
Versus just your typical handheld.
Right.
But I don't think there was anything this year that we really missed that we didn't see.
Oh, no.
There's nothing I can think of that we did or you or anybody else really. Like, I don't think there's anything we missed scanning.
Say everything that's came into the fields or came in within seeing distance, it got spotted and either shot
Well,
or
the other night, y'all seen a coyote that we didn't on a rack. Y'all remember that? So y'all actually picked
Popped
one up
in.
with this that we didn't pick up on a rack.
Yeah, he popped in, popped out.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of how it goes sometimes, and then popping in and out like that. Like I said, 3 eyes looking, but then again, it's kind of like it's one of those things you come back to calling. If you're getting a response, something coming in, okay, well maybe we need to mix it up, not keep the same call on.
Right.
I mean, just something simple like that, being able to do that and have somebody else spotting for you, kind of say, hey, try this.
Right.
We all kind of threw ideas to each other and different things.
Right.
So I don't know. It's been a lot of fun that you can sit there and have someone else involved. That's not sitting there, like I said, adding to everything else.
Right.
When you're sitting there trying to go out there and varmint call.
I would have loved to have had this the night that the guy shot my call. I wasn't on the rack, and he shot the call. I'd have loved to have got it on video. I mean,
something cool to see.
$750 call.
What does he think he was shooting that coon?
A coon come all the way in, and he shot the call instead of the coon.
He could have flagged him off and turned the laser on.
He's a really good shot. He's a really good shot. I'll tell you.
Well,
But
he hit it dead on, didn't he?
I will tell you, it blew it up.
Split it in 2.
And there I'm sticking my head out the window trying to listen. Like, the call's not playing. And then it all,
Come up.
I said, did you shoot the call? And I'm not going to say what he said, but yeah.
All right, so you made me forget the question that we need to ask Colt. So we know all these animals, like we were perfect picking up coyotes. We saw Bobcat. I know you've got a video somewhere of a fox. I don't think we put that one up. I think it was one that you did blow up a fox, and we just didn't put that video up. I think you did pop a fox with one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then also we found out that is it a pretty good spot some beavers?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So, okay.
It's a beaver spotter too.
So hang on. It's pretty good for spotting animal beavers, for sure. We blew out a beaver dam a while back, and I've been fascinated. He's building back. And so I will go check him out working with the M6. and he's building this dam back just as good as before. It's the craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all got me. But yeah, it will pick up a hot spot.
So we've had a lot of fun with the M6, playing around, looking around, using thermal, driving around town. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to use. I mean, I'm sure there's all other kinds of uses. I mean, we used it pretty much just strictly hunting, but we still had a little fun with it every once in a while. But I don't know if law enforcement use it or firefighters or whoever else may use it, but I mean, I think there's a lot of utility with that, but we definitely adapted it to the hunting environment for us, and we definitely got it to suit our purposes.
It would be great for a rancher to go count cows.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be really useful too.
Especially when it's cold and rainy.
These guys all up north, I mean, they don't get as cold as we do, but still, it's nice not to have to get out of the vehicle and go look and go spot stuff.
Especially when it's warm in there.
Well, a lot of times, when a lot of guys, they're not full-time ranchers. They get to go check their cows after they get off their day job. It's dark, and through the wintertime. Well, they can go after dark, and cattle they're more calm after dark. They don't blow out. They can drive through their cows and scan and check them.
Like, there's a new calf here on the ground.
Yeah.
This one didn't have one there earlier.
Right.
But I mean, I'll tell you, calling, it has definitely been one deal that I thought it was just a kick. I just had so much fun, a kick out of it. Now, my buggy, we sat there with the electric buggy. We'll run that thing on. I mean, we'll run right on top of them. Right on top of them. We'll get so close to them, sitting there running that, having that M6. I mean, we're not having to have not having the windshield up or anything like that. Just roll right on top of them. Yeah. And that's just been a blast to be able to do that, along with having some vehicle mounted thermal stuff. I mean, it's just crazy just how your stalking game will change, even on the hog hunting side. Yeah. Even though we were pretty heavy on the varmint side, running the M6.
Oh, I've done plenty of hog hunting with it.
Yeah.
I don't care for hog hunting, but I have done plenty of hog hunting with it in the short time I've had it. And
well, it was just like when we took out one of the company representatives. We took her out and another rep. I mean, you just drove along with that M6 and spotted
we
stuff
sat
out.
in the cab and they sat up there and froze, and we sat in the cab and I'd point the laser and they'd shoot. It was that easy. We didn't even have to tell them.
We just rolled down that little back window with a little button. And, hey, they're out there.
Or point the laser in that direction, look down.
That was a fun night. I mean, that was one where I got to sit there and stay in the cab, stay all nice and warm. But yeah, that's right. They did go up there freezing that high rack, just driving along, letting them go out there and shoot. Go throw one out there, which we did some of the videos on some of that, shooting some of those pigs. But I would say this is just the best thing. I mean, it's one of those products where, you can have your scopes, your clip-ons, your handhelds. But now, I mean, I have, drones. So it's like I'm still certified to do the drone. But now, when on the vehicle mount thing, I mean, it looks like I'm going to war now. Yeah. I'll go through. It's like, how it is. Like, I'm forgetting half the stuff now. Because we sit there, you got your handheld, we got your scope. We got to throw my drone case in there, and they're like, oh, don't forget the M6. We got to go take that now, too. Yeah. So, guys talking about adding gear and equipment to you, this is one I think you're going to keep. And you're not going to see these things up for sale. I mean, these are the things that guys are going to keep. It's going to be gear that they're going to keep on and want to keep having and using.
I own a drone as well, and it never leaves the house. This thing goes every time I go.
Can't forget the M6 now. That's
I think it's like you're getting to be part of those things where it's like that is the must-have type gear.
Yeah,
I mean, they ain't cheap. They're not. But I think it's a worthwhile investment.
If you're a four-man team, you split it up. If you have a varmint hunting team that hunts together all the time, split it up. I mean, everybody don't need one. And
you go pitch in.
Yeah.
Go pitch in, but every Polaris Ranger does look good with an M6 on top. I think we should get all three of ours together and go take a photo with all of them.
Yeah, because Blake has one too.
As I said, you and Blake just go get it there with all the Polaris Rangers, all with those M6s on there. We all got our individual stuff, but I can say that if one of us didn't bring it, they'd probably get cussed out.
No doubt. Oh, well, so I got a buddy that owns a high fence and pretty educated varmints in it. So we were going to walk in. So I didn't bring the M6 the other night. I get out, my buddy John, hey, where's the M6? I'm like, we're walking in tonight. We're going to walk in and hunt off tripod. Oh, I just figured you'd have brought it for the ride in. Jesus.
Everybody's getting spoiled now in the team.
I mean, really.
I gotta say it is for us, but I really appreciate you coming on, Colt, man. It's always fun hunting together with you and always getting your perspective on things. And I think it has been one of those deals where you always have an interesting perspective. You know, I kind of got one side. I kind of got that. I try not to get on that salesy side of things, but you always kind of set me straight on the practical application of how all this stuff really comes to play. I mean, I go out there and I go play around with it, and then there's certain things I think that sometimes I just miss, and you're like, hey, you can do this. I mean, you'll call me and say, hey, I was doing this, and it's like, man, like
Never thought about it.
Great, man. It's great. This is just gold. But we do appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Again, always a
been
blast.
fun. Be sure to check us out at Hunting After Dark Podcast on Apple Music or Apple Podcast or Spotify, and check out our website at huntingafterdarkpodcast.com.
Thank you, guys.